Ladies and gentlemen, she is back.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Now, 2024 was a big year for the world. We had elections, we had wars going on, we had the Euros. But the biggest thing to come out of 2024 was the emergence of one of the greatest minds of our generation.
Huck too.
I remember seeing this clip, and I remember looking at it, laughing once, moving on, and I forgot about it 30 seconds later, like any sensible person. So what did the internet do? They played this clip over and over and over again. Somehow, overnight, this girl became a superstar. I remember after the 6-second outburst, she was just everywhere. She was on podcasts, she was at events, she was hanging out with celebrities. This was her 15 seconds of fame, and she was squeezing every last drop out of it. This 15 seconds ended up lasting like 6 months, and just as the ember was burning, it was finally dying out. No one cared anymore. She throws a grenade into it, makes a massive explosion, and walks away into the sunset. In other words, she did what all great philosophers do: release a meme coin. Oh my god. I mean, even saying that out loud just sounds ridiculous. Of course she did. Of course she released a meme coin. She ended up releasing this coin, and like all influencers in crypto, they hold a load of coins, put it to the market buys into it, the value goes up, and then they sell, the value goes down, they walk away with all the money, and all their investors walk away with nothing. To be honest with you, I thought it was kind of funny. You know, this girl who'd made this stupid 6-second clip, gone viral, had squeezed every last penny out of that 15 seconds of fame, went off with a bang into the distance, became a multi-millionaire, screwed all her fans over, and rode off into the sun. If you're investing in a Hokta crypto coin, get a grip. You deserve to lose your money. I think one guy invested $1 million and it went down in value to like 40k. Mate, I hope that guy had rich parents and that wasn't his life savings, but even if it is, that is modern day Darwinism. Stupid people go extinct, and his money just went extinct. So I thought, that's the last we'll see of her. Fair play, she's done a number on everyone. But she is back. She's gone on some podcast with FaZe Banks, who's also a YouTuber, and he's been in the crypto space as well. I thought there's some interesting clips that came out of this, so let's have a react.
Position right now, and I feel like it's my duty to come on here and talk to you. You seem like a sweet enough girl, and I feel like I know more or less what
I do kind of wonder, actually, I don't even wonder, I know this for a fact. He wouldn't be doing this if this was a 50-year-old bloke, not a 22-year-old girl. I don't think he'd even be doing this if it was a 22-year-old boy. Maybe I'm wrong. I think she gets some leeway from him because she's attractive. I'm not mad at that. It's just the way it is, but we can't be easy on her just because she's an attractive young girl. We still have to hold her accountable to what she's done as an adult.
Very long nap. I would say that's what sucks about it too. I had to read that off a phone and like put it in my words, and I was like, anywho.
I mean, it didn't help that she just dipped and didn't say anything. She sold the coin, took all the money and just left. I don't know who told her to do that. It's a pretty dumb move, really.
this is mainly for me, and again, why I wanted to come here and talk about this is because millions of people are going to watch this. Everybody's kind of waiting to hear what you say. Everyone's kind of waiting to see how this plays out. And 99% of these people don't know shit about crypto. Just
And
like
I'm
you.
one of them.
Just like you.
If you don't know shit about crypto and you make a coin and plug it to millions and millions of fans, that's just stupid. Come on. I don't care if you're young and naive, you're 22 years old, you should know better than to not put your name on something you don't understand. I knew that when I was 15. Come on. But that's a recurring theme with a lot of people with this crypto space. I don't think many people understand it. They just see the money and see the returns.
Do this. And if you have interest, it's mostly important that your network and the people that you trust to walk into this market are exactly that, people that you can trust. You
I think
shouldn't,
that's where I messed up.
for sure.
If you're interested in the space and actually interested in crypto and the concept behind it, you understand it, you research it, fair enough. Feel free to make a coin. I just don't have sympathy for people who get into things that they just don't understand, thinking they can just make a quick buck because other people have done it. Yes, other people have got away with it and people haven't seen the same backlash as you. Doesn't make you innocent in this though.
I can only imagine, fuck crypto. I can only imagine stepping into everything that your life's been the last year and the amount of time that you have been. I've been doing this whole social media content thing at a high level for like 15 years. I'm officially fucking like Unk. And I still don't, have it totally figured out. Someone like you, and my shit was gradual. I like gradually got to where I am today, and you were like fucking.
That's true, I'll give her that. The explosion she's had in terms of fame and finance, overnight really, just for saying a 6-second clip, it's definitely a lot for someone to take. That being said, she completely embraced it. She went on all the podcasts, she went to all these events, she started her own podcast. I will say that level of rise so quickly, it must be difficult to go through.
With me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. And guys, listen, just as a temperature check, I just want to say, the first thing that she said to me off camera was, the minute you DM'd me, I really wish I just texted you and called you. And that speaks to me because of how I was introduced to crypto, and we'll get into that. But I'm also kind of on the back end of things too. Like, their team's been very forthcoming. My team is vetting them the fuck out right now and has been for the last week. Thread Guy and Frank, they're going to be on this episode. It's such a weird blend and mash of worlds. No.
It rolled out.
I don't buy this whole thing that Banks is saying here, being like, oh, I was introduced to crypto in a bad way as well. He's trying to make it sound like crypto is something that's happened to him, not a conscious thing he's gone into. Yes, maybe you didn't understand it when you went in. You still made the conscious decision to go into that space. And as for her crying, yeah, it's sad. She's probably overwhelmed. She probably didn't mean for this all to happen. But we're still going to judge this at face value, not because of her tears.
Don't cry, Haley. It's fine. It's all gonna be okay. Life is gonna be okay. Oh, Haley, no.
Oh, don't do that. Don't stare at me.
No.
See what I mean? Where he's like, oh, Haley, no, Haley, please don't cry. You're sweet. You're going to be it's all going to be okay. Bro, come on. If this was a 50-year-old man, this isn't happening. She's not getting the same sort of leeway that she's getting here on this podcast. Not to say that she has been getting leeway online, by the way. This has probably been one of the most scathing responses to a crypto scam I've seen. But I don't know, man. I don't like to see this. Haley, it's okay. Especially when you're going to justify to people why this has happened.
I did talk to him. We had a conversation with him, and he gave us some broad questions to share and ask you. They're good questions.
Oh, that scares me if they come from him.
No, don't worry about it. Don't be scared.
He's such a scary guy.
Coffee is a little scary, but it's okay.
He means well, though.
Yeah, he's scary if you're a scammer because he's going to expose you as a scammer. Oh, Jesus Christ.
In the right way. Like, it was going to be good. Like, half the money, it was supposed to go, like, into my charity. That's really why I agreed to do it. Just for the simple fact, putting money into that. It was a way to, like, get all my community gathered up together. It was just, I don't know. It was brought to me in, like, a positive way. Like, it was going to be something good and long-term, but it didn't go that route at all.
No one can prove what her intention was with the money. It might have been for her charity. Fair enough. Even if it was for your charity, you're going into something you've admitted you don't understand. Naive is putting it kindly.
What they had agreed on in the tokenomics was there was a 10% allocation of the token that would be on a 1-year lock and then a 3-year drip after that. Of that 10%, half of that was supposed to go to the company that created the project and half was to go to her.
Such a lawyer answer, which kind of pisses me off, to be honest. He says so much just to say so little in reality. What I think he's trying to say in the most annoying way possible. She was paid up front. She has allocated 10% of the total coin. So she does hold those coins. She wasn't allowed to sell them within the first year and then was allowed to drip feed them out and sell them, which in theory means she shouldn't be able to just rug pull it and take all her money out and make investors lose their money.
She has lawyer, manager, business manager, so even that 5% would have been cut down by over a quarter due to people that she has to pay out on her
I get what the lawyer's trying to say into being transparent. He's not being transparent at all because the language he's using is just moving around the actual topic. But he's trying to say that she wouldn't have a huge cut of it anyway. And then the lawyer says, oh, she's got to pay the lawyer, the business manager, the manager. She wouldn't have actually made much from it anyway. Is that meant to be good for her public image, that she had all these behind the scenes people who were getting their grubby fingers on the money as well? How does that help her image at all? What?
This kind of all was happening even without you really knowing or having view on any of it until post. You know, you're handling the cleanup and
yeah, it's convenient that the lawyer there is not involved at all or wasn't involved with the actual structuring of this project. But a minute ago, he was getting a cut of that 5% that Haley made, so...
Like a bunch of people got this early access to it.
That
so
normal people don't have access to.
That normal people don't have access to. And so I think it's less the problem that there's a coin and more just the way that it was done.
Okay, so what he's saying there is that the problem was that there was pre-sale access, so it wasn't a fair trade. Yes, that's a problem normally. It's a hock to coin. He's saying this as if the coin has any utility other than its price. It's a hook to crypto coin. What else were they going to do with it other than rug pull it? What, you think this is going to be the next Bitcoin? You think this is going to be the next Ethereum? You think there's going to be countries that are trading this Hock Turcoin? Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Nonsense. Can you imagine Angola buying crops off the Ivory Coast with a Hock Turcoin? The project was never going to go anywhere. It's a Hock Turcoin. The only purpose of it was to get money. Just be honest.
If you have no business in crypto, you probably shouldn't be in crypto. The only thing,
agree.
Your introduction to crypto should have been somebody, a finance guy, telling you it's probably a good idea for you to DCA 20% of your money indefinitely into Bitcoin because it's just a good investment. And then maybe you.
There we go. That's the whole thing I've been saying. If you don't understand something, you don't put your name on something and then flog it to the public, to millions of. That's really common sense. And like I said, at best, you can say she's very, very, very naive. That's the best case scenario for her, by the way, because we're assuming everything these guys are saying is true, everything her lawyer's saying is true. Like the fact that the lawyer was taking a cut of the 5% that Hailey was getting, and then as a lawyer had no idea in the intricacies of the process. Bollocks. Just absolute bollocks. I don't buy that 1 second.
It's telling you they're not in crypto to make money is fucking lying to you, right? To a degree. Some more than others. And some are more likely to fucking, not stand on business and fucking do sketchy, weird shit. And some are more passionate about the future of the space like us.
Fair enough. I didn't expect him to say that, to be fair. I expected him to come out with some hogwash about him being so fascinated by the crypto technology and it was nothing to do with any financial gain at all. Okay, I'll give him credit for that. And he's right.
To do it.
Wiz Khalifa told me not to ever put your name on something you don't fully understand.
So really, really awesome piece of advice. It's great advice.
I agree with him.
That was on this show. There's like a clip of that.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's a real clip. That's a great piece of advice.
I mean, this podcast is doing what this podcast was supposed to do, really. Make Hailey look like the victim in this. She kind of doesn't really know what she was doing. She ended up trusting the wrong people, and that's why everyone's lost their money. Is that true? Maybe. Is there more details that the team's not revealing? Probably.
X, Y, and Z. It's in crypto, this cool new technology. And they like you. They like your name. They want you to do basically more or less an ad read every 2 weeks. And they'll pay you $100,000 a year salary.
It's simple.
I'm like, what? Bet. That's a great deal. And also they'll give you whatever it was. I'm making this figure up, but $50,000 in tokens, whatever. I didn't know what that meant. In one ear, out the other. Could give a fuck less about that. $100K a year? Bet. That's awesome. And then upon announcing this and upon me talking about it, they used that moment as exit liquidity. They used my face as exit liquidity. At that point, I got flooded with comments. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Probably similar, definitely not as severe as your experience.
I mean, that right there pretty much sums up the problem with crypto and putting your name on a crypto product like this. It's different when a creator or a celebrity releases a product and they sell it to someone and someone's unhappy with the product. With crypto and financial markets in general, when you win, someone else is losing. It's at someone's expense. That's how a market works. And it's not like a product where you have that one-off payment. There's no limit to what someone could lose, which is why that person lost $1 million. So this whole narrative of, you just had a bad first experience, you were misadvised, it's not that bad of a space. Everyone who puts money into this should know when you win, you are winning at the expense of someone else. And when you lose, someone else is winning.
Where you DM me, it was like in my request, and you asked if I ran my account.
Yeah.
And what I done, I still confided in the guy that ran my account, and I screenshot. I was like, "Can I respond to him?" Like he was in the live.
No, don't.
He was like, "No, do not text him."
It's the
back. I
biggest
was
red flag of everything you've said.
Okay.
Not being allowed to respond to someone is crazy. Yeah.
Wild. Especially someone like me, somebody who they know.
Well, I mean, you
I'm
were
a good
nice
faith
when
actor.
you were on the live, so I was
Of
like, "Well,
course.
there's nothing wrong with him." I was like, "He's a nice guy, and he's just asking if I actually run my account." When his answer is no.
I wish she picked up the phone and called me immediately.
I mean, I think it was obvious from the start she had a bad team behind her. Unfortunately, because she's the name, somehow, I can't believe she's a big name and in this position in the first place anyway. But she's the one who's going to bear the responsibility for that. And sneaky managers behind the scenes can run off with all their money. But like I said earlier, this is still best case scenario for her. Picturing her as someone who was naive and trusted the wrong people and ended up getting all the backlash. I can tell she doesn't understand what she's talking about. That's clear. But I mean, what motivated her to go into this in the first place? Well, let's be honest, it's not for the love of blockchain, is it? Like, come on. Everyone knows why she went in. This narrative that's kind of being spun here, I think it's deflecting from the fact that she was greedy when she tried to go in. She probably didn't mean for this to happen, but let's be honest and let's be clear. It was greed that got her here in the first place.
And it's probably really confusing. A lot of it doesn't make sense, but we like to think of crypto as the money of the internet. And it basically allows you to attach a value to attention, like memes, like Hawk Tua, right?
Yeah.
And trade and speculate on attention. Is the thing going to get bigger? Is it going to get smaller?
It's just gambling.
And The thing about it is, like, crypto isn't going to go away. It's only going to get bigger.
I think he's making the point there that he thinks he is. He's saying, oh, crypto's cool. You can monetize attention. You can speculate on attention. Yeah, okay, you can gamble on attention. Let's say how it is. It's just gambling then. It's no different to me going to Bet365 and putting money on a football team to win. All of this podcast up until this point, we've been talking about crypto being this huge future digital currency. And in one sentence there, he's just confirmed what everyone else really knows is it's just purely speculative. It's a fancy term for gambling. Let's be honest.
We're talking about, I think if you took all the money that you made from the deal, whatever, and just like bought back the coin and then locked it up, I feel like that's a very like clear action that you can make, back to the community. And I think that would just like stamp it and the community can run with it. So that's like the idea that we were talking about.
I mean, yeah, that's all she can really do at this point. It scrapes a bit of a consolation. People who still do have the coin and were affected by this might see an upturn in value and might get some money back. How many people will have already cashed out at this point though? But yeah, at this point, there's not really much else she can do. Be giving that money to a gambling awareness charity, because Lord knows if people who invested in this need to go to one. So the podcast went on a bit longer, but nothing really new was added to it. Concluding thoughts. Was she exploited by her management? Probably. Was this somewhat self-inflicted and driven by her own greed? Definitely. I do feel somewhat sorry for her because it is a lot for someone overnight to get into this position and have all the eyes of the world on you, scrutinizing you. When 6 months ago you were just a normal girl. I think why it's hard to have too much sympathy is because she really squeezed everything out of that 15 minutes. And like I said, fair play if that's what you want to do. But she's taken that 6-second clip, made it her whole brand, made it her whole life. At the end of the day, she's a young adult and she should have known better to not get involved in something she doesn't understand at 22 years old, no matter what her intention for the project was. But yeah.